in the worst conditions possible in Pittsburgh. They don't compete around him. They've never put players around. He's never been protected. He's Dominican, so he's got to go up and he's got to play his cold-ass games right there by the confluence with that wind whipping around. How freaking miserable is that for a Dominican player to go up there and play until mid-June, until it starts getting warm? He's going to Arizona. Last time I checked, Arizona's pretty hot. I feel this way about any Latin American player. If you take them from a cold climate to a warm climate, you're going to get a better result. Last year, I wanted to write this down, but I don't think I did. It's all right, I got it pretty much memorized. Last year, after May 5th, Starling Marte hit 314. Fact check me on that, guys. After May 5th, Starling Marte hit 314. He started out miserable. But when he picked it up, man, he picked it up. What's the difference this year? Well, one, he's playing for a contender all of a sudden. Hello. And two, it's going to be warm. Yeah, he's going to have to go on the road. I get it. But most of his games are going to be in warm weather. That's why I look for that slow start to be minimized. And it'll be a shot in the arm playing for a team that wants to win. So let's talk raw statistics. So we're talking Marte, Martinez, Judge, and Harper. Marte hit 295 last year. JD hit 304. So he's positive there. But again, 314 after May 5th. So a little bit, I mean, that's not much time. That's a month of baseball, right? 25 stolen bases for Marte to 2 for JD, right? That's a no-brainer. 82 to 105 RBIs. Okay, you got about 25 RBIs on him, but who do you think's likely to go north and who do you think's likely to go south of those two comparisons? I'd argue that Marte's going to go north and JD's going to go south there, right? I think that's a pretty valid argument. It might not happen that way, but I think that the things that have happened in Boston and Marte's move to Arizona tend to lend themselves to that trend. 97 and 98 runs, they're basically tied. Again, I think those trends are crossing. And I'll give you JD's 36 homers, JD Martinez, and Starling Marte. But we're going to go through this because so you're talking about average comparable, stolen bases isn't. As a matter of fact, JD's giving you a zilch in stolen bases. RBIs are, JD wins, but it's close. Runs are even. Homers, JD wins. But again, you're not getting a donut hole, right? But throw in the change of scenery, Taco. Throw in the change of scenery. Throw in the fact that there's incentive to win. I put Starling first in front of these guys. That's me. But that's great that we're all obviously going to have varying opinions, right? By doing this exercise, it allows you to get who you want to get. That's the point of this. You get who you're targeting. Okay? So I'm targeting Marte. Again, so let me back up a step. The top 12, the first 12 outfielders. How many of those outfielders do you think had 20 plus stolen bases? Just a guess. I'll even name them again. Acuna, Yelich, Trout, Bellinger, Betts, Soto, Marte, JD, Judge, Harper, Meadows, Jordan Alvarez. Exactly my point, Laney. There were three. Three, that's it. And your best of your best outfielders. There were three of them that had 20 plus stolen bases. You still feel the same way, Taco? Can you get those home runs elsewhere? I know I can. That's just my take on it. You're getting elite stolen bases and all those up. Betts is 5. Betts is behind Acuna, Yelich, and Trout and Bellinger. That's the great thing. You make this list and you go into your draft to dominate it. Right? So I got Marte. I'm going to share that in a second. No, you're fine, man. You're cool. So let's go Marte versus, I'm going to skip over Aaron Judge. Let's go Marte versus Harper. And I really like Bryce Harper this year. Harper had 35 homers. He had 98 runs. The same, 98, 97. He had 114 RBIs. To Marte's 82. Harper had 15 stolen bases left. That surprised me. And a 260 average. So, I'll say this. Bryce Harper is growing on me quite a bit. If I had to do this list again now, I might put him in front of JD. "35 homers is the number, Here's the difference, though, guys. And here's why it's important to do this. Oh, Taco, that's what I do, buddy. It's important to do this because you try to make this list without the ADP, and then you put the ADP in there. It gives you perspective. Bryce Harper's ADP is 22.6. That's a second-round pick. So if you value Starling Marte more than Bryce Harper, that means Starling Marte is a second-round pick. You hear me? Bryce Harper's an interesting. The average part, I think that goes up, but does it go up enough? Ideally, you're looking for guys that are all in green here. Again, the green, 30 plus homers, 100 runs, 100 RBIs. I think I put 20 stolen bases. Yeah, 20 stolen bases and 300 average. There aren't that many of them. So Meadows is an interesting comp. Because he was hurt last year, right? And the ADP is about right. So Marte's 32, Meadows is 43. So if you don't get Marte, you could equally effectively execute this plan with Meadows as a substitute. Right? Because if you look at what he did, 33 homers and a 291 batting average. 12 stolen bases, 89 RBIs and 83 runs. Guys, he could hit all five of those bars. You could be looking at a first-round pick. And again, his ADP is below Marte's. So while I don't have him up as high here, he's still a value. Again, 33 homers and 12 RBIs. He missed a good month of the season. I don't have it in front of me, but he missed a considerable amount of time last year. I got to look it up now. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll give it to you. He played in Sorry, I hate that air. Anyway. Oh, JD's older. Marte's only 31. Marte, I mean, he might be 32 this year. But JD's 34, 35. Marte's been pretty well kept. He had that. He misses about a month of the year. He played Meadows. Sorry, my stalling's over. Meadows played 138 games last year, guys, with 33-12. That's important. That's a good chunk of games, right? Let's talk about this second group. Because this second group, in a lot of ways, is more important than the first group. These are the guys where you kind of have to... Yeah, he did get suspended, King App. He got the PED. It was like 3 years ago, where he missed 80 games. And he was having a really good season that year. I guess that's why, right? So anyway, here's where you make your money, guys. This second 12 outfielders, it's really important. And again, this is my list. You guys might have different guys that you want to target. These are the guys I like. I'm going to go quickly over them. I'm going to talk about a couple guys as we go through here. Number 13, my first outfield two, Eloy Jimenez. Look, if great minds like Lenny Melnick and Jim Bowden are calling this guy a top 5 player, and you could get him in the 6th round, and by chance he turns into that top 5 player, is that not a tremendous value? At 62, does it make sense to go up into the 5th round to get him? I think it does. That's why I have him ranked above guys with lower ADPs. Okay? I have him ranked above Kettle Marte, above Whit Merrifield, above Giancarlo Stanton, Chris Bryant, Charlie Blackmon, all of these guys, because he has that much talent, guys. The 267, I don't think is an indicator. That's a yellow. 31 homers is a green. 69 runs, 79 RBIs. Again, Chicago is loaded this year. Last year, not so much. I look for both of those counting stats to go up. He's not going to steal you a dime on the base path, and that's okay. That's okay. You get that elsewhere. Eloy is a tremendous value at ADP 62. I suggest going up into the 5th and maybe even into the 4th to get this young man. Kettle, like I said, 44.6. He is valuable because of his versatility. I feel very similarly about Kettle as I do about Starling. I think he'll steal more bases this year. I think they're going to try and exploit teams with their speed. I like Kettle Marte. He's eligible at second, short, and in center field. That's a bonus. He had 32 homers last year, guys. Andy bites Dave. Watch out. Sorry, I can't help myself. So, I like Kettle. Whit Merrifield, steady Eddie, wins the race. 20 stolen bases. He's a green there. Average is superior. 302. 105 runs. Important to take note there. 16 homers get you in the ballpark and 74 RBIs. The big thing about Whit for me is his versatility. Second, center, and right field. I'm in position leagues where you have different outfield positions, so that's why you hear me talking like that, okay? But in years past, he's been eligible at first base. I mean,